Galadriel is a very old elf, born in the time of the two trees in Valinor, which make her about 8,371 years old, or thereabouts. She was seen as the female equivalent of Fëanor, although perhaps even more powerful. She yearned for more knowledge and, well, more power. Having learned all that she could of the Valar, she wished to have her own people and her own realm without supervision in the vast expanses of Middle-earth that lied back across the sea. At last, on the 15th of February 3019 of the Third Age, she had the One Ring within her grasp, and all that she dreamed could come to pass. This was her greatest test. Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. This is Gone with Gandalf, and every weekish I try and make one of these lore videos, so thank you very much for clicking on this video and like and subscribe. The Silmarillion, it tells us of the events that led to Fëanor and his sons sealing their oath to leave Aman. This caused the Horde of Noldor to go with them to Middle-earth to wage war on Morgoth. Galadriel saw this as her escape. The Oath of Fëanor was basically to secure the Silmarils at any cost, and while she wasn't bound to that, well, we will get to that, but let's just see how this bit unfurled. But Galadriel, the only woman of the Noldor to stand that day tall and valiant among the contending princes, was eager to be gone. No oath she swore, but the words of Fëanor concerning Middle-earth had kindled in her heart. For she yearned to see the wide unguarded lands and to rule there a realm at her own will. And for the 600 years or so following her departure from Aman, she was forbidden to re-enter the Undying Lands, along with all the other elves during the First Age. This wasn't due to the oath, though. This was actually due to the Doom of Mandos. The Doom had a much less specific target audience, yet the more dramatic effect. Fëanor proclaimed his oath in Tirion, and the Noldor host travelled to the coast to pick up some Teleri ships. When the Teleri elves said no, get lost, Fëanor attacked in what would be the first kinslaying, where elves fought elves. After the kinslaying at Alcalonde, Mandos, or someone who looked like him, said, "And those that enjoy Middle-earth and come not to Mandos shall grow weary of the world as with a great burden, and shall wane, and become as shadows of regret before the younger race that cometh after." At this point, some of the Noldor did turn back, and they received a full pardon. These were the minority, and Galadriel was not amongst them. Thus it was so that the doom fell upon even the Lady Galadriel, who was too prideful to cast aside her wishes for dominion now that she had set upon the path, doomed to grow weary and wane, if not slain. Let's get down to her test then, against the One Ring. I alluded to this in a previous video where pretty much, well, several of the main characters have this pseudo-battle with their wits against the One Ring. And Galadriel has this in the chapter named Mirror of Galadriel by her super slick and magical mirror in Lothlorien, where Frodo and Sam actually were indulged in a chat gone weird at the local watering hole. "Do you not see now wherefore your coming is to us as the footstep of doom? For if you fail, then we are laid bare to the enemy. Yet if you succeed, then our power is diminished, and Lothlorien will fade, and the tides of time will sweep it away." No pressure then for poor old dear Frodo. He's just witnessed the Eye of Sauron in the mirror. This can be a lot to handle right now. But anyway, Galadriel continues. "We must depart into the west, or dwindle to rustic folk of dell and cave, slowly to forget and to be forgotten." She's fully aware of the Doom of Mandos that we already spoke about, and how she feels as though she may fade into obscurity whether Frodo succeeds or fails. "You are wise and fearless and fair, Lady Galadriel," said Frodo. "I will give you the One Ring if you ask for it. It is too great a matter for me." "I don't deny that my heart has greatly desired to ask what you offer. For many long years I had pondered what I might do, should the great ring come into my hands." Galadriel was the only elf remaining in Middle-earth into the Second Age and beyond, who was also in that band that rebelled in Valinor and travelled eastwards to Middle-earth. There is the suggestion in the Unfinished Tales that she was actually exempt from the pardon after the defeat of Morgoth due to her role as a key figure. The other suggestion is that she outright refused the pardon. It is said that this is partly due to the love that she had for Celeborn, who would not yet leave, and then there's also her pride and desire to rule her own land, which was as yet unfulfilled. Regardless, she remained. This encounter is probably one that she's played over in her mind several times over. You know, the One Ring and dominion of Middle-earth. That is something that she may have secretly desired ever since its creation halfway through the Second Age.
Would not that have been a noble deed to set to the credit of his ring, if I had taken it by force or fear from my guest?
The One Ring is owed someone of malintent. I feel as though she is trying to rationalise taking the ring now that is being offered to her by Frodo, even if he is a little intimidated.
And now at last it comes. You will give me the ring freely?
It definitely feels like she's teetering on the edge here from the battle within her. You know, on one side you've got like the dreams and aspirations of her youth, and then on the other you've got the ageless wisdom that has come from her extremely long life. And in the films, this is the bit where she goes weird and spooky and green.
She lifted her hand, and from the ring that she wore there issued a great light that illumined her alone and left all else dark. She stood before Frodo, seeming now tall beyond measurement, and beautiful beyond enduring, terrible and worshipful.
I reckon this is a snapshot of just what her rule as the ring bearer would be, at least in the beginning. As she says, all shall love me and despair. It doesn't seem like they would really enjoy her enlightened stance. Would she therefore see herself as like the only light in an otherwise dark Middle Earth? And would she then try to like forcibly heal the taint?
Then she let her hand fall, and the light faded, and suddenly she laughed again, and lo, she was shrunken, a slender elf woman clad in simple white, whose gentle voice was soft and sad.
A visual show of humility to end the test. She is designed to let the powers of her ring diminish, and the land she rules is destined to fall. And you know what? She's okay with that.
I passed the test, she said. I will diminish and go into the west and remain Galadriel.
Surely she feels a huge wave of relief, like just wash over her, because she knows that she can now leave. If the Doom of Mandos was upon her, it is now lifted. Anyhow, she's fulfilled her goal of becoming the Lady of the Golden Wood, having her own realm, and she's also selflessly aided the folk of Middle-earth against evil, knowing full well that that fight isn't for her. She's not going to have a place in it in the future. To paraphrase what Christopher Tolkien actually said in the Unfinished Tales, when the One Ring was offered, her wisdom had grown to its fullest. That which she may once have accepted, she now was able to decline. And, well, she did that even with a bit of a laugh. Obviously, like, Sam was like, go on, but just take it. And she was like, no, I'm good, fam. And well, I really, really wanted to wedge this in here, so I'm going to do it right now. It's my video. And I don't think she would have taken the One Ring, because, she would have been aware of the Council of Elrond. When he said the One Ring was given to Frodo as his burden, and his burden alone, I think this was fated to be so by Eru Ilúvatar. In the Council of Elrond, before entrusting Frodo, he says, I think this task was appointed to you, Frodo. Then there's a bit of a break. But it is a heavy burden, so heavy that none could lay it on another. I do not lay it on you, but if you take it freely, I will say your choice is right. Now, I believe then that that would have been one of Eru's fated interactions. I'm not going to go too in-depth in this video on that, but he does say, though, that Frodo could have still turned it down should he have wanted to do so, because he has free will. However, he was still meant to have it, and therefore Galadriel was never meant to have it. Okay? Now, isn't that an encouraging thought? And I'm going to leave you with that one.
The ring passed out of Lórien the next day and would be destroyed 5 to 6 weeks later, and the power of the 3 rings would begin to diminish. And just like that, it's over. I hope that you quite enjoyed this video. I actually had a lot of fun making it. If you have any other suggestions, then pop them down in the comments. I think I'm going to do a similar one for Aragorn and for Gandalf the Grey. There might be one for Boromir, but I've got a few videos already lined up in the works. So, yeah, nothing else to say. Thank you very much for watching. Have a lovely day. But I'm Game with Gandalf. Good day.